Okay, this is Chapter 1, AP Environmental Science, Chapter 1, Part 2. Again, there'll be several different parts for this chapter, so make sure to take notes on each and every part of this video lecture series. The picture you see here is just a picture of a forest, and when you look at a forest, there's going to be different components that are important for this system, both biotic factors and abiotic factors. Biotic factors are the factors that are living, so biotic factors are going to include the moss or these plants back here, the tree, any of the living organisms, earthworms, deer that are traveling through here. Those are all biotic factors. Abiotic factors are going to be factors that are non-living, and so that would include uh, this dead tree would now be non-living. The precipitation or rainfall, the sunlight, the temperature, these things are abiotic factors, non-living factors that affect the health and well-being of this particular system. And so they interact, biotic factors and abiotic factors interact in order to ensure or change the direction or future of a particular natural system. And so if rainfall changes for a particular year or series of years, then that means that the biotic factors are going to change with that and therefore change the whole dynamic of this particular system, this forest system. And so humans are a biotic factor, and they alter natural systems and they manipulate their environment more than any other species. So we talked about this last time, that all species manipulate their environment to one degree or another, but humans manipulate their environment more than any other species, and continue to at a larger rate or a faster rate and a larger scale than ever before. So humans for thousands of years have been now converting lands, natural lands, for their means. And the first way was agricultural areas, and then now more and more so urban areas, suburban areas, and industrial areas. And so we convert lands for our means in these ways. When you do this, it affects the natural system quite a bit, and you're going to have a decrease in, oftentimes, decrease in biological diversity and all sorts of things we'll talk about in this chapter. We also manipulate natural systems by changing their chemistry. And so we change the chemistry of our air, water, and soil in many, many different ways. One example is adding fertilizers to the soils. Well, that's going to change the chemistry of the soil. And so we add fertilizers to help crops grow faster and larger and such. And this is going to change the chemistry of the soil, but then that after it rains, that soil and fertilizer is going to run into river or freshwater systems and change the chemistry of fresh water. Those fertilizers also have volatile organics in them and different things that are going to change the chemistry of our air. So one thing, a simple thing like adding fertilizers to the soil can change the chemistry of nearby, local, and then also global systems, both air, water, and soil. So if we look at this photo, I think if I remember correctly, is of New York City. It's not a real photo, it's photoshopped. And on this side we have what New York City is today, and then on this side it's what it used to be. And so you have this green, lush forest natural system, not manipulated very much at all. And then on this side you have no natural system, really all streets, buildings, and people. And so you can see such a drastic difference. On this side you're going to have a very healthy system that provides many free ecosystem services and has great biological diversity, whereas on this side you're going to see little biological diversity, and you're going to see very few, if any, free ecosystem services on this side. When I was in Barcelona last summer, this was the case. I was in the middle of an urban setting, and you would hardly see any insects, very few birds, maybe some pigeons. So there are some species that adapt well to urban settings that are like this, very few. Whereas if you go over here and you were to, just you could spot many different life forms in very little time. This is actual picture, it's not photoshopped at all, and you can see that humans down the middle of this have changed this natural system quite a bit. And so over here you see natural forested area that's in good health, but then where humans are, we've manipulated the land for buildings, roads in all directions, and then croplands and all sorts of things. And so this has a big impact on this particular system. This is Los Angeles in 1880, a picture of it, and you can see very few buildings. We're starting to manipulate the natural system, but there's only a couple thousand people in the area at that time. The hills are still natural and all sorts of things. But now in 2009, 4 million people live in Los Angeles and growing each and every day. There's tons of buildings, roadways, very little natural land. And so humans have had a large impact on natural systems. They also, with an increase of human population, you have an increase of needs for resources and other, and this is what systems change to due to an increase of human population. So environmental scientists, one of the major things we're going to be looking at as an environmental scientist is we're going to monitor natural systems for signs of stress. That's our main goal. The biggest thing that we're going to be looking at is signs for stress in natural systems. We're going to see if there's a change in any stresses in a natural system. And so ecosystems provide us with services, and so humans get a lot of things from ecosystems, ones that are healthy. We get things such as clean water, timber for fuel or building, supplies, fisheries for food. We also use the land and crops for agriculture for food as well. And so these are ecosystem services. And the cool thing about these are they are free, so we don't have to actually pay nature to do these things. They do it naturally. So they clean our water for free, trees grow for free, all these things are free to us. And we can measure economically how much they would cost if we were to pay nature to do these things for us. So an ecosystem that is degraded or stressed out is going to be unable to provide these free services, or they're going to only be able to provide a few of these services, or not a sufficient amount for our needs. And so we want to make sure that we have ecosystems that are healthy and not degraded and stressed. And then as environmental scientists, we want to be able to measure the health of the Earth's systems in order to determine whether we need to help that system, whether we need to leave it alone, protect it, what we need to do. Okay, so measurement is key in understanding the health of Earth's systems. So if we look at this picture right here, different things that give us free ecosystem services. And so this is probably one of the most important ones. This is pollination. So pollinators provide us free ecosystem services to this extent of billions and billions of dollars worth of free ecosystem services. Literally over a third of your dinner plate is due to the fact that these pollinators give us or pollinate for free, and so it provides us a lot of food resources. But also really these three pictures we're going to be talking about decomposition and keeping ecosystems in check. And so literally without ants, earthworms, and different types of fungi, we would be the fecal matter and dead organisms would be all around us, and it would be quite uncomfortable. And so they provide us a free ecosystem of just keeping ecosystems maintained and healthy through decomposition processes. So this is going to be part 2, the end of part 2, and we'll get to part 3 next time.